The Latics Football Phone-In is proudly sponsored by Legacy Pets. Being a Latics fan is for life, and so are our pets. No one wants to think about what happens when we lose them, but when we do, we need to know that both them and us are in good hands. Legacy Pets have worked with animals for over 20 years and understand what it means to have lost a beloved family pet. They're also Latics fans, so if you do need their pet cremation services someday, they are dedicated to providing compassionate support just like we do on the phone-in. Visit legacypets.com and tell them that you're part of the Latics family too. Easy boy.
It's Thursday night. It's been alright. Gonna have your say on the football. Mad and sexy day.
Beautiful for Norwood. They might get on the end of it. It's Norwood. He's done it.
It's the football phone. The Latics football phone. It's the football phone. The Latics football phone. It's the football phone. The Latics football phone.
Oh,
Hang on a minute, what are you doing? You're just playing.
Sorry.
He's a big fan of the new Two Connors song.
no, I'm not.
Welcome to the Latics Football Phone-In. I
Sorry.
hope you can hear us.
Hello.
I think we're on, Dave. I think we've done everything right
We
this
are
week.
on
We're on it.
it.
So,
Yeah. 3-0 defeat. Another one on the bounce.
yeah, I didn't think it was a. Oh yeah, there we go. Thank you very much, sir, Mr.
Rolite.
Rolite.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was a 3-0 defeat.
Well, it
Scoreline-
was.
Well, it was. No, I mean, I didn't think
Of
it
course
was.
it
It was a 3-0 game, though. That's what I'm saying. They scored late on, didn't they, to make it 3? They missed a penalty. It was disappointing. Don't get me wrong, but
It's another one on the bounce, and there's got to be some questions raised because we are looking very worrying.
in what way worrying though? Like, do you think
Conceding 3 goals, conceding
we're
too
going
many
we're
penalties.
on a bad run, aren't we?
Yeah, but
We're just on a bad
we
run,
don't, we
aren't
don't
we?
seem to be learning, do we?
Who's that down to though?
Do you know
Players,
who the
manager?
best Oldham player was this weekend? George Ford.
George Ford.
Yeah,
Who's George
he
Ford?
plays for the England rugby team. He was born in Oldham,
All right.
and he's a great lad. I wonder if he watches this. I hope so. But yeah, he was the best
I
player.
doubt it.
He was the best player this weekend
Right.
for Oldham.
Right, well, that's all well and good there, but this is the Latics Football Phone-In, not the Six Nations Football Phone-In.
Yeah, sorry to all the Wales fans out there, but hey. Anyway, I just think we were just going through the motions. I don't know what it is. He's not even looking at the fixtures. He didn't seem angry or annoyed after the game. He was just a bit, it is what it is. We're just consolidating, and
Yeah,
it just feels like 18 games to go. We've got quite a long way to go, and we could get really dragged into this.
the teams below us, though,
I know,
are
but
shocking.
it's...
We've got a really good run of games coming up that, I think are very, very. We're able to pick up some points, and I think we've got Fleetwood, Bristol Rovers, Gillingham, Crawley. Then we've got Bromley, which is obviously going to be a tough game because they're doing well. But apart from that, then we've got Tranmere, who are on a stinker. Grimsby, and then Chesterfield. So we there's plenty of points to be picked up. I think
we need to start getting some rapid.
I agree. We don't want it to go any further with defeats. We've got 2 home games coming up. There are people now that are calling for Mellon out. There are, I know you are a bit like, well, maybe that's the right thing to do.
I think he's done what he's done what he's needed to do, and that was to get us up. I think it at the end of the season, things need to be looked at.
It's all about opinions, and that's what we want to have a chat with you
Marty.
about. Especially if you think that Mellon should be replaced, or if you don't, let's say your views.
Yeah.
I'm sure our first caller will have an opinion on this. We've got Chris. He's waiting in the back. Christian,
Bring
so
him
let's
in.
bring him in.
Bring him in.
How do?
Oh, how are we?
Great, thanks.
Good. Just I don't know if it'll be a quick one or not. There's a lot of fans at the minute questioning the performance of our players. I think a lot of fans need to question their own performance as fans because some of them, quite frankly, are a bit embarrassing, if I'm honest. I've seen online.
Explain.
Well,
Online, is this? Is this online or is it?
Yeah,
Well,
Twitter,
go on, explain.
Facebook.
Yeah.
Example, I've seen I've seen a few people already saying that Kavanagh is rubbish after one game, and he missed a penalty. It happens, but he's a 22-year-old lad. He's just moved clubs, new player, new manager, probably new position. He's probably not played that much, for Bradford, and yet they're expecting him to come in and have an absolute stormer for a mid-table team away at a team who are likely to be promoted. I just think some fans need to have a little think about what they want from this team this season, because given the position we're in, put our last three results aside, given the position that we're in, if you'd have said that we'd have been in that position at the start of this season, I think 99% of fans would have snapped your hands off at it. We are comfortably above the drop zone, and I know people will be counting the points between us and second bottom. What some people forget is it's not just about saying, well, we're 14 points, that's only five wins. It's not just that team that's got to get 5 wins on you. It's everybody else who's below you. It's not going to happen. We're safe. If we lose now every single game to the end of the season, I still don't think we'd go down. I think the teams at the bottom are that bad. Okay, so was it Harrogate who won? They beat Cambridge the other day.
Yeah.
But this is this league. I've not seen one good team in this league where I thought they pass it about good. They've got this, they've got that. They're just effective, and we've been beaten, I'd say, by Barnet as well, in an effective way. They got the chances, they scored them. There's nothing between the teams. There's nothing between us and Swindon, nothing between us and Cambridge. It's just at the minute we're on a bit of a rut. I think some of the fans just need to calm down. I really do.
Well, you've got a supporter here, Christian, about the fans. I think Mickey Mellon said it in his post-match at Swindon. The difference between us and them was that they take their chances and they and they put them away, and that's been the difference. And up until the last few games, we've got that foundation of being difficult to beat, and I think that's the first thing that you need in this division. You've got to be difficult to beat, and that's what Mellon's trying to get us to be. And I think on the whole, he's done that. We definitely need more quality up top. We definitely need to take more chances. You can build on that. Having a good foundation for me is what this season's about. Building a good foundation, something to build on next season. Try and be solid, get good players in key positions, and then try and get better players in key positions next season where we can. So I don't think there's any need to panic. Like you said, I think people at the beginning of the season were saying, oh yeah, well, as long as we consolidate, as long as we'll probably finish mid-table, which we probably will. But the reality of it is not as exciting as last season, let's say, although last season wasn't exciting, it only was towards the end. That's football at this level. That's what being a Latics fans is about. It's very rarely is it actually really, really exciting and really, really brilliant. It's usually just a bit dull.
But that's the thing. It is dull. Our creativity is lacking. We're playing players in the wrong position. It's an awful watch. It's an awful watch. And Cambridge has been coming. It's been coming for weeks. Accrington, when we got beat 1-0 away early in the season, I knew then we were going to not say struggle, but it's just like I was speaking to my dad the other day, and I was like, it's shite football to watch.
I know,
it's
but
just
rubbish.
man.
You're not going to get everything right, though.
Well, let's try and put it into context, Christian. You know, you've got teams here below us and teams that have been in the Football League that have not been in the National League for the last 3 seasons. We've not had the budget that these have, because we've been out of the league. There's been money being pumped into the club in all kinds of ways. So there are teams below us that should be doing better than us because they've been in the Football League and we haven't. So, like, I don't think you can have too high an expectation. Most games witnessed by most of these fans week in, week out. Look at Warsaw, who were 7th and were doing really well. They're shite. They were terrible to watch.
Yeah,
but
they're
they were
awful.
winning games. So we're no different to anybody else. I think that's the thing. I think we're expecting that we should be like some brilliant team. We're not. Most teams in this division aren't really very good, pleasing on the eye. They're just effective. They just do
Matt,
what
I've
they
not
need to
seen
do.
one good team. I think the best team I've watched this season were Crew, and I don't even think the top seven are they? Crew. That's the best team I've seen. The most attractive football. It's not effective because they're not top of the league. So the thing
Notts
is,
County have been the best team I've seen.
Yeah, Notts County were good. When we
I don't
Cambridge,
know,
I think
Dave. Honestly,
Cambridge.
I don't know. I think we made County look good on the day.
Well,
I'd like to see him at Boundary Park. Yeah.
They're currently 3rd and they've won 5
Yeah.
on the spin, so they're obviously doing something right. You know,
Well,
But
that's what I'm saying. Is that necessarily because they're playing attractive football? Or is it just because they're being effective? And
I think you might get the odd 1 or 2 teams,
Yeah.
Chris, in this division that play decent football and are successful. But they tend to be teams that have been in the making and in the development for a while, and that are able to keep good players rather than having to sell them all on. Because that's another thing. You're at the mercy of the teams above you when you're in this level. So I think it's a work in progress. Paddy's here saying shake hands at the end of the season. Thank you for efforts. Name one of the exec box after him. I mean, I still think that the stability of having a manager in situ is important and something to build on, because I think whoever you bring in, it's going to be a potential risk. I mean, who do you bring in? And that's the next question.
Yeah. Yeah, can I just say one more thing about this, people who are calling for Mellon's head? Because I'll hold my hands up. Before Christmas, I thought it was time for a change. But I was going on that change, worried about what's going to happen at this, Christmas and January, and thinking if Mellon has that sort of symptomatic second half of the season where he usually does poorly, then we could be dragged into it. We had one of the best Christmases that I remember as a Latics fan. But people who are calling for Mellon out, I can completely see their point of view. I think most people can. The football's not great, yada, yada, yada. I won't go into it. Everyone knows the story. But some fans, they're fixating on 1 or 2 things that are going wrong under Mellon. And I think you alluded to it on the podcast, Matt. No one thinks that Mellon's a perfect fit. But the problem we've got is Mellon has a lot of good qualities, mainly his experience and, his ability to get through a season. If we were to bring in a Kuhl type who makes us play good football, okay, we might say, okay, well, he's better than Mellon at that. But how many other aspects of his managerial skills is he worse than Mellon? I don't think you're going to find a better, more solid manager than Mellon at the minute. Our goal is to sustain ourselves in the Football League for a couple of seasons, get the finances back behind us, let the Rothwell sort out everything backstage, because I think people think we're further along than we are. We're still miles behind. As a club, we're still miles behind. We need to get that right first. And if we have to, endure another couple of seasons of not great football, then for the long term, I just think we should do it. I don't want us to bring in a young, expansive coach that's going to get us relegated in 2 years, because then we're back at square one again.
It's a gamble. Bringing somebody in is a gamble. You've seen it. We see managers coming and going all the time. Dino Marmaria has just signed at Barrow. He's been at Latics before. He's come and he's gone. I think we've seen it in the Premier League. Sean Dyche has been sacked. Thomas Frank's been sacked. These clubs have got big money to throw around on paying people off, bringing people in. But it's not doing them any good. It's not doing them any good. They've only just brought in, and Spurs finished 15th last season. It looks like they're in a relegation fight, and they've been chopping and changing the managers. And I just think stability for me is more important at this football club, and
right now
build that for me. That's for me the most important thing. And it's not exciting. It's not. But this next couple, all that matters is getting out of this division. One way or another.
It's not great right now, is it? But let's say in 5 years' time we end up in the championship, and we're trading punches with much larger clubs than we are now. Is anybody going to really care what we played like this season?
No, but you can say that about anything, can't you?
You're talking about good football, can you?
Yeah, but you pay to watch the spectacle. Well, I certainly do. I want to watch good. I want to watch good football.
I
do.
understand that, but then you've got into the business of supporting Oldham Athletic. If you wanted to be entertained, you'd go and support Barcelona.
Yeah, but that's like saying if you want a cat that barks, you buy a fucking dog. At the end of the day, it's just I support Oldham because I was born in Oldham and I'm an Oldham fan. Yeah. At the end of the day, I want to watch good football, and that's my opinion. And when you're seeing us getting beat 3-0, 3-0, all right, I get he came in to do a job and get us promoted. We're promoted. I think it's time for a change. I do think it's time for a change. But again, I'm not saying I want to have a load of instability around it and change the manager every 5 minutes. Yeah. I just think that he's done his job, and what he's done has been brilliant because he's brought us success after 35 years. However, to move forward, we need to get a coach with different ideas and maybe have a different viewpoint of it. And it is a risk, but football is a risk, isn't it? If you stick with Mellon, look at what happened at Tranmere. He got him promoted twice, and then in the last season, he nearly got him relegated because he stuck with him, and then they made the change. I'm not saying for 1 minute that he's going to get us relegated, but I'm just saying if you want to progress, sometimes you have to make a change because they're doing the same thing over and over again. And getting the same results.
I'm not sure that's what's happening, though, is it? Because
but we're getting good results.
On the whole, take it over the season, it's not been too bad.
Brilliant.
I just want to see.
This season, where we are, when you take into context the position that we're in, some of the results we had, Walsall away for me in 30 years was one of my best memories, right? As a Latics fan. Walsall away scoring in the last second was one of the best buzzes I've ever had. We're 16th in the league. 16th was way above where I thought we'd be.
Well, that's where I'm at. I mean, I'm taking it all in the greater context of everything else, and we've got a comment here that under Mellon will finish higher next season, and I think I agree with that. I think we will. I think it's about building something for the future and getting ourselves settled. And he doesn't get every signing right. Not every game is brilliant, but the signings are improving. We've been a bit unlucky, I think, with injuries this season, which again, we could be unlucky again next season. Maybe it's players that we sign. I don't know. It's just a gamble. And then what happens is if you sack the manager or you don't bring him in, you bring somebody else in, if that doesn't work, then it's the same people who want to get rid of that person straight away. And if we'd have listened to those people last season, we'd have got rid of Mellon before the playoffs and we wouldn't have gone up. So it's all down to different opinions. And it's down to it doesn't matter what we think because we're not the ones in charge. But I think that we can be a bit more. It's whether your glass half empty or half full. Wally of the week here, Si Mills from. It'd be great if you called up, Si. Thankfully, my view of life and of Latics is one that we're on the way up, and there's no need to let it drag you down. Looking at
put Peter Howard's comment up. That's bang on. That's what I want. How could we play such good football in the playoffs and yet? Yeah, it's just changed, hasn't it?
That's right. So I can sort of explain this a little bit because I'm an ex-athlete. Athletes can't play well every week because they peak for a performance, right? You look at you look at the players we had in that team. Garner wasn't in the team all season. Corey Evans wasn't in the team all season. What Mellon will have done is he'll have spent 2 months with those players saying, right, we'll be in the playoffs no matter what. We all knew we were going to be in the playoffs. I want you ready for the 3 games that we play in the playoffs. That's it. That's all you need to play. Corey Evans, Garner, outstanding. Pritchard, outstanding in the playoffs. They would have never been able to do it over 46 games because they peaked for that moment. That's what Mellon's done. He knew we were in the playoffs. You can't expect these players to be absolutely 120% every game because that's how humans work. They have one good performance and that's
it. So what you're saying there is that's good management. That's experienced management, isn't it?
It's unbelievable coaching management. Yeah,
but unbelievable coaching. And you're playing players in the wrong position constantly, game by game, square pegs him round us. He did it last season, and then he changed it and played players in the right position. I'm not asking him to say 120% performance and win every single game because that's unrealistic. But playing Tom Pett out wide, playing Caprice, whose legs have clearly gone,
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
what is it? What is it about?
I'm not saying he gets
I
it
just
right.
don't get it.
No. Yeah.
I
He
don't-
doesn't get it right because look at the results. He
I don't-
doesn't, obviously.
I
Do you know
don't
what I
think.
mean?
I mean, I don't think that that people who are. The thing is, it's all nuanced. So, like, if you're saying you want to you'd stay with Mellon at this moment in time, it's just when you take everything into context, you think that he's probably the right man to stay. Doesn't mean that you agree with everything he does. Doesn't mean you agree with every single formation, every single player, every single substitution, every. That's not the same.
no,
And
there's loads of
if you
times
think it's time,
yeah.
if you think it's time for a change, that doesn't mean that you think everything he does is absolutely awful either. It's just that
It's on balance.
it's just it's just about on balance. You know
But
what
I think I'm saying let him see out his contract. He deserves to see out his contract. I'm not saying sack him tomorrow. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying change it now. I'm saying shake hands at the end of the season. Done. Do you know what I mean?
I'm not sure what the name. No, well, Simon, you were the one who were calling us. You were calling us names on Twitter. It's just that you're not quite brave enough to come and do it face to face, and that's fine because not everybody is brave. Some people are pussies, and that's fine. But Dave speaks a lot. I said, yeah. He said, we're just sick of it. Well, not everybody is sick of it, are they? Not everybody is sick of it. Other people aren't. So just because you moan about it a lot on Twitter doesn't mean you're right. And you seem to think that your opinion is right. We all have varied opinions. And no one's saying they're right or wrong. It's just that that's our view. And we aren't sick of it. I don't know. That's who you're using, that collective. You know what I mean? There are a lot of section of ones who don't get what Mellon's doing. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. And you're both entitled to your opinion.
Yeah.
It's just that there is an alternative opinion.
Of course there is.
And
they're wrong.
Right, exactly. But it's up to the board, isn't it? It's up to the board to make to figure. Is Mellon doing what they want him to do at the football club? And it's not just about the.
That's a great point. We just saw risk averse with against Cambridge. You brought Luke Cannon on. Why didn't you bring on Kane Taylor and give him a good run out? Do you know what I mean? Against Cambridge, it was 0-0. The game was still there. Why did he give the lad a go? And then he gives 5 minutes to Jago. Do you know what I mean?
I'm not here to speak on behalf of Mickey Mellon or anybody else at the football club. That's up to them to do it. It's just my view is that we've for the first time in 30 odd years we've got some stability at the club. We've got stability at board level. We've had a manager now coming up to completing 2 full seasons, 2.5 seasons. That's not happened for a long time.
No, it hasn't, no.
And when you look at clubs that do well, they tend to do well because they stick with people and they let the process go on rather than chopping and changing at every given opportunity. Yeah. That's just to me. It just makes sense. As much as I agree that he doesn't get everything right and that there's a long way to go, and that at some point in the next few years he'll need replacing with somebody else, and then maybe we'll get a different type of manager. Maybe he'll have got us out of League Two by that stage and he'll have got 2 promotions and he'll be an absolute legend. So we can't predict the future, can we? But I think he's capable of getting us out of this division. I think he's capable of getting us into the playoffs, and I don't think he's capable of managing us, like you said, Christian, managing the players in the playoff situation and getting us out of it. And then
nobody better than Mellon for doing that.
But he's not perfect, and he'll be the first to admit it.
Well, we'll see what happens. Like someone's asked me there, what position would it make me change my mind? I don't. It's not about the position. I said at the start of the season we'll finish 13th, 14th. I did say that, and that's not a dig at Mellon. That's just where I thought we were with the squad and where we're at. You know what I mean? And it's just a case of saying, for me, I just want to see fast, dynamic football.
Have we seen any attractive passing teams though in mid-table in this league? We forget it's only League Two. Some
Grimsby look good. Grimsby are mid-table.
I watched them at their place. They were awful.
I think unless you're watching them week in, week out, like they do, we tend to watch teams twice a season when they play Latics. Yeah. We might catch the odd game. So the best. But if you then listen to their fan bases, you'll have people in the fan bases that think it's going okay. You'll have people who think that they're the worst team they've ever seen, because you get a lot of different views in the fan bases. So it tends to be that over a season, and that means the full 46 games, the best teams will finish at the top, the worst teams will finish at the bottom, and the league will tell you where you're at.
A lot of people are saying that I'm saying Mellon's a bad manager. No, I'll tell you who a bad manager is. Salim Bentancur is a bad manager. He was a bad manager. Mellon isn't a bad manager because look at the promotions that he's got. Look at the record he's got with the likes of Tranmere. He's got us promoted. He's not a bad manager. I just don't like his style of play and how he's adopting it. And personally, for me, I want to be entertained. I, at the end of the season, think there should be a change. That's just my opinion. But it's not that he's good, bad, or indifferent. Do you know what I mean? He has brought stability. He's brought in rules. He's brought structure. He's brought a brilliant captain in Tom Conlon. But for me, he plays it too safe. He just plays it too safe.
And look, and his experience will tell him the reason he does that is because he feels that that's the best way. And you got to have that stability, you know, like in order to have something to build on. And he said in multiple interviews that he wants to see certain type of football, and that he's not seen it. So there is a joint responsibility between the players and the manager, and you know.
But we seem to see the same type of football week in, week out. That's what I'm saying.
I really do think it depends sometimes with who we've got available and who haven't got available. I think when we've got, we very rarely are anywhere near our best 11, are we? So,
and you know what? I'm not being funny. We are if say Mellon goes at the end of the season, let's just say, and let's just say as a scenario, we are a great club offering to prospective managers, maybe in League One, in the lower League One echelons. You know what I mean? Our offering as a club, sports town, the great owners, good fan base, a lot of heritage. We're in the Football League. A lot of people will be turning their heads. We could actually look to poach managers, not just look for someone who's just free and available.
The hardest job in the Football League at the minute, Dave. I'll be honest. I think this is the hardest. Managing Oldham might just be the hardest job in the Football League. We've got the fourth worst wage budget in the league. Is it 2.8 mil, something like that? It's the fourth lowest in the league. Yet we've got a fan base who aren't happy unless we're top 7. And I'm not necessarily saying that are you, Dave, but there's lots of fans out there who they're disappointed because we're not winning every week. You're not going to do that with fourth bottom wage budget. It's just not happening.
I agree. And
you're a big club with no budget.
We're three seasons out from the worst squad we've ever had. As well. You've ever been in every aspect. Yeah, the worst the club's ever been. It just completely stripped back. And so to think that now we're back in League Two and we should be playing brilliant football, beating everybody, and and entertaining fans, and I just think it's completely unrealistic. I'm with you, Matt. It's things are moving in the right direction season after season. Things are getting better. And it will take a while for us to catch up because the club was underinvested in, the stadium was underinvested in, infrastructure, everything was bottomed out. So you've got to give it a little bit of time and be a little bit patient with everybody in that process before you start saying, "Oh, the manager's taking us as far as he can go" and stuff like that. He's not had millions and millions and millions of pounds to spend on players, and
he spent a lot in the National League. He signed a lot.
And he got us out.
He got
us out of the National League, didn't he? And he wasn't.
He didn't spend much at all.
He signed a lot of players. Look at Billy Waters.
The wage budget was low.
Spaffing £1,800 a week on Billy Waters. What signing was that? I'm not saying we don't get every signing right. Matt Worthington played about 3 games.
I agree. We've said, we don't here to defend every single decision that he's made.
He had a lot of resources in the National League. Let's not forget that. He had a lot of resources.
I think what Andy Halliwell said on the podcast at weekend was very interesting, very surprising. Was it Forest who had a 6.4 million wage budget and they didn't?
Yeah, Forest Green. Yeah.
I mean, that is just that's alarming. And ours was about 2.5, 2.6.
Yeah, exactly. And now
Forest
the
Green
season
are a full stop compared to us, aren't they? But it all comes down. You can talk about fan base, you can talk about heritage, you can talk about history. If a manager doesn't have a budget to work with, it's always going to be difficult. Don't matter how big your stadium is when you're getting beat home 2-0 from Wealdstone. It don't matter. If you can't sign the players that you need to play attractive football to get you in the playoffs, do this, do that, then I don't know what Mellon's supposed to do. He's got us promoted and we are comfortably mid-table. There's no way we're going down. I just don't think we could have done any better with it. I don't know.
Well,
I mean,
you're entitled to your opinion, mate. That's what
Yeah.
this is what the phoning is all
that's what
about.
it's all about,
Yeah,
Dave. That's what it's all about, Dave.
And we've got our special guest, Eni Aluko, coming on in a minute. I'm joking.
And we can, we can have a bit of banter. We can take the piss out of people.
Yeah.
And we take the piss out of each other. But we all want the best.
Take the piss out of me a lot.
Well, and by the way, Dave's also an athlete, so he knows about that.
I do the gym.
Yeah.
Oh,
Pelts, delts,
Yeah.
svelts, belts,
Yeah.
everything.
Love it. You'll be even
Feel-
sexier than usual soon, Dave.
Push
Oh,
the
yeah.
burn.
You lost
Yeah.
2 stone, haven't you?
I've lost 2
Be the,
stone.
be the poster boy soon.
Yeah.
What do you mean soon? Cheers, mate. Thanks very much.
It's been a good call, Chris. Thanks, mate.
Before you go, prediction for Saturday.
Lose 5-0.
Great. Good
No, I'm
stuff.
joking. No, we're gonna win. We're gonna win.
All right, mate. Thanks very much. Cheers,
Right.
Chris.
Cheers.
See you
take
later.
care,
Nice one, mate.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, good call.
Great call.
Good call. And you don't have to phone up with me and Dave disagree with these,
Everything.
on everything, don't we?
Politics.
It's not about agreeing. It's about being able to
Immigration.
just be able to have a conversation.
I'm joking.
Shut up.
I'm
Dave.
joking.
We're talking about football. Let's hear from. We'll go to Australia in a minute.
Yeah.
After this,
The Latics Football Phone-In, proudly sponsored by Legacy Pets. Being a Latics fan is for life, and so are our pets. No one wants to think about what happens when we lose them, but when we do, we need to know that both them and us are in good hands. Legacy Pets have worked with animals for over 20 years and understand what it means to have lost a beloved family pet. They're also Latics fans. So, if you do need their pet cremation services someday, they are dedicated to providing compassionate support just like we do on the phone-in. Visit legacypets.com and tell them that you're part of the Latics family too.
easy boy.
Get off me.
Right, let's go to Australia. Speak
Down
to Chris.
under to,
Hey up.
Chris Lever.
He's in work already.
Chris.
Where are you? I can't hear you.
Well, no, yeah, I can hear you. Can
Hello?
you hear us?
Chris, hello.
Hello.
Chris,
Can you hear us?
I can't
Oh,
hear
me-
you, boys.
Yeah.
put your headphones in.
What's happening?
Oh, just remove him. We'll come back to you in a minute.
Just remove him.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's clearly
Down under.
it's clearly an issue down under.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look. I mean, Gaz is saying doesn't have to be lovely passing foot. Just play more on the front foot.
Correct.
I agree. I'd like to see us do that. I think earlier on in the season, I think when we weren't picking up the points, we were playing on the front foot. We were having a go. I don't know. So I think maybe the team seems to have lost a bit of confidence. Has young Michael Mellon leaving had an effect? Because he was an important player for us,
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
he? And he's not missing. So I just think that next season will be better under Mellon than we have been this season. But you could be wrong, couldn't you, as well? And it's just I'm not in a rush to start looking for another manager again, to be honest. Right, let's just have a chat with Ibby before we try back to Chris. All right, Ibby?
Evening, Ma and Sexy Dave, you both okay?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you.
very well, thanks.
I'm alright, very good call that from that Chris guy. I fully agreed with what he said.
So you're sticking with Mellon now, are you?
Of course I'm sticking with Mellon till the end of the season, and then I'll shake his hand and say thank you very much, and probably from there look for a proper manager, because I would like a new ideas in the dugout and something to fresh up. And it will be sad to see him leave if the board does it. But at the end of the day, we can only just say what we can. But the future is in the board's hand over Mellon.
Yeah, of course it is. Would you support him if he was to stay? Would you think it would be, would you be happy with that decision if he stays on?
Matt, if he does stay, I don't want to see him signing a 2-year deal. I would give him a rolling contract 1 year, and we'll see from there what happens. But the guy has gained respect, and he's got my respect, so I would leave him where he is at the moment till the end of the season, because I will never forget the promotion, what he did, and that special night in the playoffs. So he's warrant my respect for that.
Yeah.
The thing is, we never know what's around the corner. So, like, if Mellon does leave and somebody else comes in and that manager turns out to be absolutely a masterstroke, then everybody who was saying we should replace Mellon will have turned out to be right,
Mhm.
and that's great. I want the best. I want the best for the club, and I'll support whoever it is who comes in
Look
next.
at when
I'll
Jimmy Frizzle
support-
left and everyone like Joe Royal, and look what he did. So you
But,
never
yeah,
know,
but it
do you?
didn't happen overnight for
No, it
Joe Royal, did it? So you have to be patient with people, and you have to give people time, and you have to back them, and so I think still where we are in our development, there's a lot more for Mickey Mellon to do if he wants to, and the board want him to. So it's not up to us. If he's in the post next season, I'll back him. And
Yeah, I'll back it. He's a manager of football. Again, it's just I just think that a new idea, some new ideas might freshen things up. But again, the respect that the guy's got from me, all the fans, is well deserved. Because he has brought us success. But it's a tough one. It's a tough one. Don't you agree a bit?
Yeah, that's
Dave,
obviously.
Dave, I do agree with you. And I think we're going to win on Saturday and going for 5-0. Someone's going to get a base stain.
Right. Well, all this forgiven then. What do you think of Kavanagh?
Dave is going to be a very good player. Just give him a bit of time and he will deliver, because he did very well at Bradford City. I thought that penalty miss was unlucky, but what can we do about it? We've lost the game. We have to move on. Well, I think the club have made an absolutely brilliant signing in that lad. He's at the right age. He's raw. He's hungry, and he will deliver. Dave, next season we'll see the best from him.
Yeah. I like the look at him. I do.
I liked his attitude. I liked his work rate.
He didn't stop running, did he?
I didn't like his penalty. That was rubbish. But yeah, it was a big. It was big. We said it on the screen last week. What we could do with him scoring in his debut. What we don't want is like Billy Ward. We actually called it.
You jinxed it.
Jinxed it. Yeah, absolutely. Jinxed it. And it's a real shame. But that part of the game, we just have to go with it and score a hat trick on Saturday when we win 5-0.
It'd be nice to see him at home, and hopefully the whole crowd will get behind him. It's it's all positive, mate. So you think 5-0 then?
Yeah, guys, and thank you very much for having me on the show. I don't have much to say. I'll let another caller come in. Thank you very much, Dave and Matt.
All right, take care, Ribby.
Bye-bye.
We'll try Chris again, and when we've got Bin Man waiting in the wings. Hello, Chris.
Hello.
Can you hear us now?
What is happening?
Oh my God.
Hello. Can
Hello.
you hear me?
No.
This is crazy.
Get back
I
in
just heard
earphones
Ibby
in.
speak, and now I can't hear you guys.
Get back in your car. Right, let's speak to Bin Man. Hello, Bin Man.
Hiya, mate. You okay?
Yeah, you, mate.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm listening for a few weeks, guys. So, just thought I'd give you a call. You all good?
Yeah, it's all good. I mean, last few weeks have been a bit grim, hasn't it? We're not.
Yeah,
three
not
defeats.
Yeah, 9 goals in 3 and all. Yeah, I know, but we are where we are. This time, last February we'd have taken it where we are now, won't we? So,
yeah, we've been discussing Mickey Mellon this evening, Bin Man. There's mixed opinions on whether he's the man to take us forward after this season. What's your opinion?
as you well know, guys, last season I was a big advocate for him, and still am in a way, guys. But if he signed a new 1-year deal, yeah, of course he'd get me back in. Yeah, of course. But if he were to go the end of the season, I won't be that bothered either.
That's fair enough.
I agree. That's what I said. If he came in to do a job, he's got us up. He's got a lot of respect from the fans. But I'm just frustrated with the football. I'm just frustrated with it.
Yeah, he doesn't let the handbrake off, does he, Dave? Sometimes,
no,
and it's a bit.
He doesn't. And the only time I saw him do it was against like Colchester when we were and Bromley as well. He went for it at Bromley, and Bromley were a good side, and it was and I just wish he'd do it a bit more. Do you know what I mean? I just wish he would.
I absolutely agree. I do. I don't think he lets the amber. But you know, if he like I said to you lads, if he stayed next season, I won't be bothered. He'd get me back in, and I've always loved the fella. He's a legend for what he's done for us. He's got his promotion and all that caper. But again, if he did go, I say right, fair enough. Off you go. And there's only one man I'd actually want in actually for next season, and that's Dean
Oh,
Brennan.
here we go. Dean Brennan.
Ooh.
Do you think he'd leave?
Absolutely.
Think he'd leave Barnet? Massive club, Barnet, aren't they? Huh?
Absolutely.
You think he
could
would?
have- Yes. If you said to him now, given the budget, you're getting an 85% better crowd. You only get about 1,000 down at Barnet. He'd be
Yeah.
absolutely loving it. The only problem would be is our main stand probably wouldn't like him.
He's just
But
got.
I think
He's
he'd
just
give it
been.
them back anyway.
He's just got a 9-match ban or something, hasn't he?
Yeah,
Saw it earlier. Yeah.
What for?
Yeah, it just club statement here before. He's got a 9-match touchline suspension,
Lord,
mandatory education, which sounds a bit draconian, and a £2,000 fine following a charge under FA Rule E3, which you'll know well, Dave. What's
Oh,
that?
he said something to the linesman, didn't he?
Yeah.
About his personal life, I think. I
Right.
think that's what it was. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
It was.
Oh, is
pretty-
it a
denied-
female?
He
I think.
denies it.
No. I think it was a male, and I think he. I don't want to go into what was said
probably
or
best
alleged.
that we don't say it, but whatever. But
It
he
wasn't-
said something, and
It was
he's been
very,
penalised for
very
it.
bad. What I
Yeah.
heard.
Yeah, so but
I
yeah.
just like his football. I like his kind of football. His attitude is, well, we go to win games of football, and it proves that this season when they beat us, there was, I think we were better that day, and they still ended up winning, beating us. So I think he's a man. But listen, it's all about if Mellon stays. But is there any word on the street that he is? I've heard close to the end of the calendar year last year that he signed the deal and it was done. I'm hearing it's done. If it's going to be announced soon, it's going to be announced before the end of the season. I don't know. Have you heard anything, lads?
No, I genuinely haven't heard anything. I haven't asked
nothing.
anybody about it either. I mean, I think you need to. I think you need to know. I think the thing is, we're bringing another manager in from another club. It's not going to happen until the end of the season, and then you kind of, it's all. A manager that's in situ during the season can start planning for
In
next
situ.
season, can't you?
Yeah,
In situ.
nice.
Can
Well, that's
start
what we
planning
had
for
with
next
Mickey.
season.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's what we had last season when Mellon took over. We had half a year when he came in to see where we're at, and then the season after we're going to get promoted. I think if we was going to get anyone for next season, I think we probably would have done it by now. Oh, he probably said, right, Mellon's going and bring someone else in now to the end of the season and let them take it, carry on.
Do you know Dean Brennan has made Mark Shelton into a bit of a baller. So if he can do that with Mark Shelton,
That's a good point.
he's a very, very good coach.
The thing
As
is,
long as you don't bring him back, as long as you don't bring
Yeah,
him with
correct.
him, I'm not bothered.
it's really it's really easy to sit and say, right, yeah, go and get such and such. But if that manager's, I don't know what his contract situation is, but he's under contract. Clubs aren't just going to give him away. If he's under contract, so you have to make him an offer. It's big bucks potentially, isn't it? You know what I mean? So we're not in a position to just be cherry picking the managers that we want.
No.
At this level, and I just think if we stick with Mellon and we go into next season, I think we'll improve and we'll do better. And I could be wrong. Maybe we won't. Who knows? But then you could go all out and get a manager, and he comes in and it just doesn't work. He might be the wrong fit for the owners, for the board. He might not resonate with the players that we've got. Like, there are a lot of ifs and buts. It's not just as simple as go and get such and such. And then if you start to be looking for managers that are out of contracts or out of work, then maybe those particular managers, they're either out of our league completely or they're a gamble. So so you just don't know. It's not. Sometimes you're better the devil you know than the devil you don't. But another times a gamble can pay off. But generally speaking, our gambles have never. The appointments we've made, few and far between, that have actually worked out for us.
Yeah, I agree, Mark. But my biggest fear is, I'll choose my words better. If Mellon were to go, let's say after this weekend, let's say we win, lose, or draw this weekend, whatever, and Mellon on Monday decided that's it, we're going and parting ways, I think a lot of our fan base will pine for Pete Wild. He's just recently left Fleetwood. Some of their fans are saying it was unjust. He shouldn't have been sacked. I think a lot of our fan base will go for him, and I don't think I would like that, to be fair, because I think when you've got someone like that who lives in Oldham, breathes Oldham, if it goes wrong, it doesn't end well, does it?
No, I agree. I don't think I don't think it would necessarily be a good move for him now either for those reasons. I think he's he's better off keeping it at a distance and supporting the club. I mean, in a way, you think, oh, what amazing experience it would be to manage your own club. But then you're not a fan. You're not just a fan of your club. You're a manager. It's a different experience completely. And he got an extremely unexpected opportunity and he took it, because why wouldn't he? He's been able to make a career off it now. Fantastic. Good luck to him. But yeah, I'm not sure he would want the job. For those exact reasons that you mentioned, Bin Man. So
I just think, like, other people have said, we win 3-0 on a Saturday with Pete Wild in charge. We're all laughing, but he's in Wrighton, he's having a drink. And if we lose, he's at home, not doing anything. I just don't want that. I really don't. But, time will tell with Mellon. I think we should be making an announcement soon if we are with it, because we're not going to do it in middle of June, are we, when his contract's up at end of June? We're not. No. I think we'll have it sorted well before then, but time will tell.
Plans for next season will be in place already in numerous different ways, won't they? So,
Kavanagh won't be in one of them.
What's that? Sorry?
He's just come on. Kavanagh, obviously he's with, Mellon's probably looking for
exactly.
Signing like that.
Yeah.
So,
Latics just, if we lose, like we lost the weekend, lost 3 games, it's disappointing, and I hope we need it to stop. We need to start picking up points this season, though. I mean, I can't get depressed about it. I just can't. Like we went to Wembley in June. We're up in the Football League, back where we belong. We've now got the foundations to start kicking on. Everything's great. Like I just can't get miserable about it at all.
No.
Coming back from where we were, it's just fantastic. And now we've got our eye on League One. That's where we're aiming for. And we've got another promotion to look forward to at some point. Hopefully in the not too distant future. But we have no right to that promotion either. It's a tough division. It's hard work, and it's going to take hard work from everybody to get us out of the division. But what a situation we're in compared to like 3 or 4 years ago, and it's hard to be depressed about it.
Of course it is, and I tell you now, a few people might disagree, but it's harder to get from below than it is in this division. We did well to get out of the National League. Not many clubs come out of that, do they? After 3 years, what we do, it don't really happen.
Exactly. I don't. Look, I said this earlier, guys. I said this. What happens if what happens if a new man does a belt and gets to fly in? I have considered that. That might be the case, and I said that if that's the case, then everybody who said that Mellon should go would turn out to be right. But that's all hypothetical at the minute. We don't know which way or the other, and so you have to wait. The board have to weigh it all up and think what's best for Oldham now. And the decision will be it's either best to stick with the guy that's got us out of the division, who's got promotions in his CV and knows what it takes, and you stick with him, or you say, right, well, he's done what he's he's got us out of the National League, and now we want to have a go with somebody else, and that's the decision they have to make. What will happen is completely unknown.
Exactly. I wouldn't give him 2 years. If he was to accept a new deal, it'd be 1 year. And for me, if he gets another year, that's right, good, we'll get behind it. But if we don't do anything next year and we're still in the same position, I would look to offload and get someone in who can get us up to the next level.
I guess it's all down to...
No, but then it'll be the same argument. Well, he got us up and we made table last year. We're just doing a little bit lower this year. And it'd just be going round and round playing shit football. And it could get worse, like it did at Tranmere. That's exactly what happened at Tranmere.
Yeah.
But you can't like there was a whole host of circumstances and Tranmere that will have made that happen. It's not necessarily all down to Mickey Mellon. We don't know the circumstances. We don't know what was going on with the budgets and the clubs and the play. There's loads of variables at a football club.
Yeah, there is.
Loads of variables and loads of moving parts. And when you've got happy players, happy board, happy manager, and things are working out right, and the backs, everything is settled, and people are working for each other and for the manager, to disrupt that on the basis that it might be a bit better is a big gamble.
Yeah, but to stick with it and you keep getting beat, then what's the?
Well, we've only lost 3 games. We've lost 3 games on the bounce. So
Yeah.
if we carry on, if we lose, there might be a point where if we lose 5, 6, 7, 8 games on the bounce, then there's the board will have a different thing to think about. But if the camp is happy and things are going well, then it's a big call to change the manager and disrupt a lot of what's going on.
I'm saying see out the season with him. He deserves. I'm not saying if we get beat the next 3 games, sack him. It'd be of concern, but I wouldn't sack him.
Would you give him next year, Dave? Or not?
No.
Would you get rid of it? So you get rid of end of the season?
I just think you've seen out the contract. You've done what you need to do, and thank you very much.
That's fine. I wouldn't be against that. I would, like I said, lads, I wouldn't be against that. But if we're to give him another year, I wouldn't be against that either. So I can't.
If he wins the next 12 games on the bounce and gets us in the playoffs, happy days. Give him another year. I'm only joking. No, but I just say, look, it's all ifs and buts in it. Like Chris made some great. His phone. He said points he wanted to make was the fans were calling out for Mellon out of short memories. I don't think anyone's saying sack him now and Mellon out. I'm saying.
No, they were last season. People were saying it, weren't they?
2, the club is stable now. Why change? Well, I've given my reasons. I think you carry on the way you're going, and you're expecting a different result. It just seems a bit. It's what did Einstein say? Keep on doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. It's just insanity, isn't it?
I don't think we're at that point yet.
No, I'm not. But I said but we could be. But then we couldn't. We could win games, as Matt said. We were going 3 or 4 years ago, right?
Yeah.
But we're not now. So that's the past. 3 weeks ago we were 6 unbeaten. Yeah, fair enough. But look at what happened. Look at what's happened.
I think the past is the past, but I don't think you do have to accept that we've come from a point where we had our worst ever squad of players, and everything was broken. So he's got to have to, to get back into the Football League. 3 seasons after 3 seasons has been a brilliant achievement, and now we're back in the Football League and we have to start again from this point. And I don't think really until we're back in League One. We can say that the job is done and we're back to where we were. But when we get back to League One, we'll be in a much better position than we were last time we were in League One, and we'll actually be in a position where we can start thinking about promotion to the Championship.
Big man, will we get out of this league playing the football we're playing?
I'll probably say no.
Correct.
I probably would say no, and I would.
Take the handbrake off. Be a bit more risky.
Yeah.
Then we've got the players to do it.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree. I don't think we would the way we're playing. But Mellon is one of those managers. Do you know we could actually go and win 5 games with Mellon on a row? No problem. We probably could go and lose fucking 5 in a row.
Yeah.
It's so strange with him. We can go on a really good
Shares with the same. Shares with the same.
Yeah.
Well, let's hope we go on that. Let's hope we go on that 5-game winning run. Then
where did you think at the start of the season, Binman, would finish? Are we about where you think we were going to be?
I personally thought we'd be top 10. I really did. Between about 9 and 14, something like that. I knew we'd probably be there we probably won't be 5 or 14th, but I thought we'd be top half. Yeah, but we still might be. We're in February. We could go on a bit of a run and get in the top half, and I'm not saying it. We could actually get the playoffs. I'm not saying we are going to, but you go on a massive run, you're in there. But we probably are going to finish where we are. Really, my expectations.
And that's
sorry.
Okay,
I think it's for me is that when you can see 3 goals. 3 weeks on the bounce, it isn't great, but it just highlights the style of player we're playing, and that's what frustrates me. You know what I mean? At least change it. At least go for it. And right, look at Barney. We went for it and we lost the game, but I weren't too arsed. I was like, all right, fair enough. You know, but
then against
Cambridge, we capitulated.
But he played the same team, didn't he? He played the same team at Barnet, and he played exactly the same players in exactly the same formation against Cambridge, and it didn't work. So, I don't. Who's at fault? If the manager has set the team up the same way, you get a good performance one week and you don't get a good performance the next week, is it on the players or is it on the manager or is it a collective responsibility? It's a collective responsibility. And Cambridge, look, we give them a penalty and that was it. We capitulated. We give Swindon a goal. We capitulated, and that's not good enough. But we get a chance to get back in the game with a penalty. We miss it. You know, we could have beaten Chesterfield. We miss a penalty. It's just one of them seasons. It's just the way it's going this season. Unfortunately, it's not like everybody has to. It's not like everything has to be accountable to a particular individual, and everything that's gone right or everything that's gone wrong is all down to that one thing. There's just more involved in it, and look, I'll be whoever the manager is next season. I'll back him, and like we all will. And I'm happy if I'm happy enough if it's Mickey Mellon. I think he's got to do much better next season. Of course, he has got to win a lot more games. Got to stop drawing games.
Yeah.
But that depends on who he's able to bring in and some of the signings he's able to make. And there'll come a point where if he's not doing it and he's got, the board feel like he's had all the resources, he's made signings or whatever, he's not made the right signings, then someone will come in his place and that's what'll happen. So I'm happy enough, me. I think it would be good if it was resolved and out in the public sooner rather than later. So that
I would. It'd be good,
and then we can stop this. Yeah, but
like Dave said, I completely agree with Dave though. If he was to go to the end of the season, he would part as a legend at Oldham. He would.
Yeah.
He absolutely would. And do you know what? Not one person would turn around and say, "Well, good for us," because you can't say that. If we go next season and let's say he signs a 1-year deal and we start absolutely disastrous next season, people start to look at it and then you go, well, promotion was now nearly, a long time ago now, and we are where we are. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I don't want to turn on him. I don't want to turn on him. I want to remember him how he was and what he did for us. So if he was to go at end of the season, I won't be that bothered. And that's coming from a staunch Mellon supporter.
Fair enough. Nice one, Ben, man.
No worries, lads.
Cheers, buddy. Nice to hear from you, mate. Thanks for calling in.
Cheers, mate. Take care, lads. Bye-bye, mate.
Bye-bye. Right, let's just have one more quick caller. We've got Michael.
Michael.
Hello, Michael.
How do you follow the man, the myth, the legend that is Bin Man? I was going to wind up.
Yeah, well, exactly. That's the thing. You just do your best. You just knuckle down and do your best, Michael. Go on. What do you want to say, mate? What's your view?
Well, I apologies. Like I said, I dropped you a message, Matt, that I was halfway through me speaking last week, and I was on call and got called off. But I pretty much, I really, listening to Bin Man, it kind of, I don't think it quite flipped 180, but I really agree with what he's saying. That I love Mellon for giving me genuinely one of the best days I ever had on planet Earth. Like, for my blood pressure and my mental health, it was a horrific 3 weeks. But for that one day, for that one moment where I hugged and I kissed strangers, I will forever worship that man. Like I said, I think I was saying last week, I don't think it's bad enough to kind of warrant changing at the minute. And given that he can get teams out of this division and he's proven it, do I care if he plays fast dynamic football or do I care if it's Route 1 boarding football? Honestly, I really, really don't. And I think he is in a lot better position, sort of facilities wise, backing from the board wise than he's probably, he had at Tranmere when they went up. I think we're probably a bigger club than Tranmere on the whole. And I think we could be set up to succeed, but I probably do agree that a 1-year deal would be just rewards for what he gave us last year, and then you're not financially committing to somebody that he is a bit divisive in the fan base. People love him, people don't love him. And I'm sure the ones that don't love him don't not want him to succeed. I'm pretty sure, Dave, I know you're not his biggest fan, mate, but I'm pretty sure, you absolutely want him to, succeed, and you'd love to, to turn it around. And everyone's the same. People, that are critical of him, nobody wants him to fail at Oldham. Not a single manager that's ever come here, fans of, ever wanted ill feeling from the get-go. It's kind of developed from their performances or the transfers or a plethora of other reasons. But I agree that probably a 1-year deal, and I want it to be announced sooner rather than later, because I don't like living under the cloud of uncertainty where especially with the signings that we had this year. I think we probably signed, maybe players like Caprice and like Ogle that were brilliant in the National League, probably not good enough now, but because we didn't know where we were going to play, they were signed because, we weren't going to get anything better than that. And, on his day, Caprice has been brilliant, but he was, him and Daniels were complete ball watching, and the guy just wandered in and scored on Saturday. But, on Saturday, I really don't think it was that bad. I think Pep buries that, which he should have done. And we scored the penalty. We lose 3-2, and you think, actually, that probably wasn't a bad result against one of the top teams in the league. But certainly conceding 3-9, it is a bit of a worry. But, rather than catastrophize, you can easily just turn that around against, Fleetwood and Bristol Rovers, who are two really poor teams, and get 2 wins and everything's rosy again, or rosier.
Absolutely. And like Blue Fumbus says here, all York fans wish they had our problems.
Yes.
Joe Quigley scores a hat-trick against us on the Tuesday night. He's got to go after the game, Joe. Seriously. No,
would you? I mean, but all right then. I know maybe there's an air of flippancy about that day, but would you have took a 6-figure for Joe Quigley? Honestly, if you were the board and the manager, I think 99 out of 100.
I would have given him a piggyback to Bristol for that 6-figure. I would.
Yeah, and I think even if he does go on to bag a load for Bristol Rovers, I don't think he's the first or the last to ever have left Latics and go on to do better than what he did elsewhere. I mean, you look at
there was a definite rumour that he missed the signature line on his contract as well. That's an unconfirmed rumour.
Don't wind me up. Don't wind me up. I've had a hell of a day. Don't wind me up with stuff like that. But yeah, I think this Kavanagh, I think he will be a good signing. I think it was probably not a great game for him on his debut, because I think he ended up being a bit isolated. But I was really impressed with Kane Taylor. I think bit of an odd substitution, but I'm not opposed to have taken him off, because he probably isn't 1,000,000% match fit at the minute. But really liked how kind of he pressed. Certainly we got a lot of the start of the game was played in their half, and yeah, there was, even though we got tonked 3-0, I think there was bits of positives I couldn't take from Saturday. But we need to start practicing. We need to start practicing penalties.
Michael, they're just thinking about some of the players that we've got in, and we want to see attacking football. But we haven't got anywhere near the best out of Jack Stevens this season. Michael Mellon's got injured, unfortunately. We've got Kavanagh in, who's got a lot of energy. Drummond, I think everyone would say has been is an exciting prospect, which we weren't necessarily expecting when he signed again. But there are players in this team that with the right balance of other players around them, will be exciting to watch next season, and they have been brought in with next season in mind, not just with this season in mind. So it takes time. We can't just go out and buy 11 brilliant players that are perfect for each position. It takes time. That's my point about coming back from the squad that we had. When we got relegated from the Football League, the squad that we had under Unsworth in the first season, it's taken time, and now, but there are signs now that it's not all sloggers and players that are, want the long ball and all that are coming in. We've got some exciting, pacey players.
We predominantly play the long ball.
Yeah, well, I think the reason for that is that I don't think we have got good enough wide players to play like kind of football with width. So sometimes when you're having to play that, kind of through the middle, it does look a lot more boring than if you're trying to play with wingers. And I'm pretty sure that, that's on his radar. And maybe he thought Hannon was going to be that. Again, as I said this last week, I've been really disappointed with him. And, if he had, he's certainly shown flashes, but, really inconsistent, and I certainly wouldn't be opposed to, kind of offloading him at the end of the season. But again, Stevens, if it had been fit, I think, we would have possibly played a different system. But yeah, really disappointed with Hannon. And I think 2 kind of out and out wide players is a priority. Well, no, one and a backup for Stevens if he's injury prone.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is, just to remind everybody, apart from Fondop, all these players there, and Hudson, apart from Hudson and Fondop and Will Sutton, these are all Mickey Mellon's players.
Yeah.
He's signed them. So I get that. He must have had a game plan, and he still plays the same game plan. And we're moaning about wide players.
Not making excuses, but was that kind of, but certainly kind of a mitigating reason for how late he was signing them because of how late it went into the playoffs.
And that's fair. That's really fair. That's really fair.
Like I say, I think a year. Go on.
No, there are a lot. Everything's not just black and white, is it? There are, like you made that point. There are a lot of considerations as to here. So I think just patience is one thing in football now that nobody has.
No,
nobody has patience with anybody. It's just it's just
look at Forest, for God's sake.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that patience often pays off, and it doesn't pay off. The thing is, it doesn't pay off straight away, but it paid off last season. And maybe it'll pay off again. Maybe it won't. Who knows? But no one knows. But
I give my right testicle to be where Forest are with Oldham.
One of the girls at work's a big Forest fan. She's got a Fenerbahce. Definitely wouldn't want to be going there next week. Not a chance, mate.
Well, we can maybe one day, maybe not next week. You like to travel, Michael, so you'd be well up for it, really.
Miserable Dave Bradley. It's not. It's miserable, sexy Dave Bradley. Get it right.
I think we need. I think you need to give up the sexy title for Lent and give it to Bin Man.
No, you have to earn that title. I'm up at 6 every morning at the gym.
Well done, mate. You keep going.
40 days off the booze as well. And
mate, honestly. The longer you go without it, the less you miss it. I promise you, son.
How long is it now for you, Michael?
August 24.
Wow.
Yeah, and I went through, honestly, and I'm so glad I went through the playoffs without it as well. Honestly, I really am, because when I lost, apart from the 30 minutes after the final whistle, I remember every single moment, and I know there'd be elements of it, if I was on the booze, that I wouldn't. But as soon as that final whistle went, I remember singing Boys in Blue, and then for 30 minutes, I've not got a fucking clue what happened. Sorry, I've not got a clue what happened.
I didn't drink for the Halifax game and didn't drink for the York game because I took my son. And I had a few pints on the Saturday, but I had my son with me, so I had about 4 pints all day.
Yeah.
And it was great. And I remember
the closest I've gone back to getting back on the booze was when my mate took me to San Francisco in September, and the cabin crew came down with a bottle of Dom. It's like, champagne for takeoff, Mr. Ingle. And I was like, leave the bottle, sweetheart, and get me a straw.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
No, yeah,
lads. Well, see you Saturday. Up the tits.
Champagne, Michael Ingle.
Are we going to win? Are we going to win on Saturday?
I think it's certainly winnable. I don't think they're in a particularly good vein of thought form. So, hopefully it could be an opportunity to turn fortunes around. What would I change? I would recall Sutton and put him at right back. He was been our best right back all year, and we sent him out. We sent him out on loan. But yeah, what would I change from Saturday? I don't think I probably would change it, because I think for big parts of the game, I think we were all right. I put a little bit of trust in, who you've got, and, maybe play someone a little bit more advanced with Cameron, so he's not, he's not so isolated. Don't kind of be. It's Fleetwood, with the greatest of respect for him. So no, I certainly think we can do. I think it's 2 very, very winnable games, and then. I'm missing Gillingham because I'm away, but yeah, 3 very winnable games. You could go on the run of three in a week now, and then everyone's let's give Mellon a contract. So I'll see you in a week on Thursday for the phone in, and we'll have a chat then.
All right, mate.
Well, it's something I agree with Simon on. It's a good call, Michael.
Thank you, Simon.
Thanks a lot. Thanks, Simon.
And thank you for the comments agreeing with me, Simon.
Yeah. So cheers, Mike. Take care, mate.
Take care. God bless, lads. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
God bless.
So there we go. Another successful Latics football phone in navigated, Dave.
Navigated.
Shall we sign off? Have you got, leave them with a pearl of wisdom, Dave.
The game for England versus Scotland is on at 16:40
That's
on
not
Saturday.
pearl of wisdom.
Yeah, he's watched
That's
Six Nations. It's better than bloody football.
Rubbish. Hey, Dave, did you know that listeners can now buy us a coffee or any other kind of hot beverage? What's your favourite hot beverage, Dave?
A macchiato.
And how do you like your macchiato?
Black with lots of milk.
No cream?
No.
Well, if you want to buy Dave a
macchiato,
then go to buymeacoffee.com/weareoldham. I'll just have a Nescafe.
Thank you, listeners.